Guys, do you ever wonder what kind of habits that you have that you did not know that you needed to change in order to make sure that your finances are in order? Well, today I'm actually going to tell you the 10 things that I feel I need to change about myself in order to make sure that my finances are in order by the time I leave corporate America. Let's go ahead and get started. So I had to put my hair up. Every time I turned, it was touching my neck and it was just driving me nuts. So you know your girl don't like your hair touching the neck. So today we're going to be doing 10 habits. These habits are going to be changing my finances. I know that I need to have them change because I am making decisions based off emotion and not strategically. And my goal is to be strategic whenever I actually quit my 9 to 5 job. I'm giving myself 2 years, but I have a goal of quitting before those 2 years. And I plan on actually having everything in order by the end of this year if everything is going the way it's supposed to. With my debt, I actually have a debt confession coming up. I don't have as much debt that I thought I had, and so it actually was really surprising whenever I was looking up information. I couldn't find it, and it was actually like one of them was having to refund a check to me, and I had to acknowledge it in order for that check to be sent back to me, because of course they ain't gonna send you back your money. So because of that, I went ahead and got that sent back to me, and that money is going to go to another debt because it was already spent, and I had it in my mind that it's already not my money. It's money that's supposed to be going to debt. So let's go ahead and get started. So I do have my notes on my phone, and I do have a piece of paper here with my pen in case I say something to you that I was not thinking about whenever I originally did my notes for the video. And so I want to make sure that if I say I'm going to put something in the description, it's going to be in the description. Or if I say that I mentioned somebody in a tag or something like that, I'll make sure that I tag them in the description up below. So I have my note page here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the first one. So the first one is I'm going to stop spending without a plan. If y'all are new here, my name is Cassandra. I actually came from another channel, which is Cassie J Budgets. It used to be called I Am Cassie J Budgets and Vlogs, but I went ahead and shortened it down. And on that channel, I actually am trying to keep myself accountable with paying off debt and also making sure that everything is financial in order. And with that being said, I decided to use cash envelopes in order to keep myself accountable. So with the cash envelopes, I actually get a binder. This is an A6 size. It's not that much bigger than my hand. And I have a dashboard that lets me know that I need to stay focused. And of course, it's from the shop that I actually make these with a little bookmark just for decoration. Now, this is not required. This is not that you need to have, but because I make them, I was like, let me go ahead and just make it for my planner, right? This is my high priority, or no, this is my bills binder. I have a high priority, I have a low priority, I have a vacation, I have a travel, holidays. I have binders for specific things. And whenever it comes to the extra money, if this bills binder for next month's bills is filled, then I'm able to actually go to the next one, which is a high priority. Then the next one which is the other expenses that are coming up within the next year. So like I'm not going to make sure every envelope is stuffed in the holiday, but if Thanksgiving is the next holiday, I'm making sure that the goal is met for Thanksgiving for that one to actually be met. So with my bills binder, these are cash envelopes, and I do have these sold, or they are for sale in my Etsy shop, and I'll always leave that in the description down below. These are just the categories that I have for myself. So this is the internet. It has the bold letters in the back, and then it has the cursor in the front. And it just has like my phone, my internet, my electric, my life insurance, my renter insurance, the PO box, rent, student loans, everything is in here. So it is empty because I did pay bills. I pay them at the end of the month for the next month. If you hear the printer in the back, that's specific. That's because I'm trying to get caught up. It has some binders. The autumn binders actually sold this weekend, and for some reason it said that I had so many in there, but I don't actually have them made, and I never do that. I usually make it first before I actually list it, so I can just grab the box, make sure everything's in it, and go. So this is just another binder that I have, but this is like a bae, the person that I'm dating, and this is just for our binder. And so it has like vacation, it has like an emergency fund, car maintenance for whenever we go somewhere, weekend getaway, parking tips and parkings for whenever we go out, Airbnb, going to Jamaica, souvenirs, his entertainment. And so it's just this type of cash envelopes that I am talking about right now when I'm saying that I'm going to try to get my finances in order. So in order for me to stop spending without a plan, I need to do a budget. I need to make sure that I get back into my budget binder, and this is the debt budget binder that I actually made myself. It is for digital purchase, and I am going to be having these spirals made in the shop. So again, it is going to be in the S&C budget, since this is something that is from the budgeting world. I did make it as front and back. It is a London theme, London girl. Because it's the digital print, I do have it on a discount, and I was offering it for a discount at a point in time, but that is just something I did at that time. So anyway, it just has like my yearly goal. I'll leave the flip through of the actual full thing, but I do need to get back to this, and it will be in the description down below. I'm sorry, I will leave a flip through of the debt planner in the description down below. But this is just something that I am trying to keep up by myself, right? So I need to go back to recording my budget with me, to make sure that I'm staying accountable with making all the decisions correct and making sure that my money, every dollar has a place to go. And I need to go back to stuffing my cash envelopes. Money being in my on my debit card is actually hurting me more than it's benefiting me. And even though it's convenient, it is not convenient at the same time. So with that, I plan on doing a no spend challenge every month, trying to make sure that I'm not spending extra things that are not planned. And there are going to be times where at first I was doing a no spend, where I was like, if I spend money that isn't on bills, then it's a spend day. I need to do, if I'm spending unbudgeted or unplanned or expenses that came out of nowhere, that should be a spend day. If I'm planning my money, then I shouldn't feel guilty whenever I'm using it. So I do want to make sure that my bills are aligned. I want to make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to. So I am going to stop spending without a plan, making sure that the budget and the plan are in order before I spend. Number 2, I need to save money before I spend. And saving money, I want to make sure that I have the emergency fund where it needs to be. I also need to make sure that I have the family emergency fund where it needs to be. So me being older means that my parents and my family members are being older, the ones that raised me, the ones that are, the cousins and the aunts and uncles and everybody. Because I've grown up, I've also moved somewhere else. So I believe that I need to have a family emergency fund. And with the kids, they have their dad and their families or whatever. So if something were to happen, we need to drop what we're doing to go to a funeral, and we don't have that saved, we need to make sure that we have money to travel, to stay somewhere, and to eat, and to go to a funeral if we need to, So I would like to have a emergency fund, and then I would like to have a family emergency fund. The family emergency fund, I feel like it shouldn't be more than maybe $1,000, if anything. And it's not something that I have to replenish, redo every month or every 2 months, but I do want it to be at $1,000 whenever I start saving for it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna put that as a bill. And then my emergency fund, it needs to be for emergencies. Now, if you saw my other video, I had mentioned that I want to have $1,000 sitting there to where I never use it again. If I have $1,000 in my account and I never touch that $1,000 again, I know I'm financially stable, because if I needed it, I would just spend it. I'm trying to get to that point, and I'm so close, but then I'm so far. It's like I'm close enough, but then I'm not close enough to touch it. So that is what I plan on doing. So then the step 2 is save before I spend. I want to save money with intention of making sure that those goals are made, and then I'll go spend it on bills and all that stuff. And then if I have any money left over, it will go to the unexpected or whatever, if I'm able to. Or I might just, like, if I don't spend, I'll do at the end of the month, I'm like, you know what, I didn't spend this much money, let's go put towards the emergency fund or the family emergency fund. All right, so for my third, right now, I can say that I need to stop depending on one income. Okay, so that one income is going to be my 9 to 5. If I don't go to work, I have PTO, I have vacation time, I have floating holidays, and I also have sick time. I need to make sure that if I'm not working for one day, or if I have errands to do, if I go on vacation, that money that I would have to cover me if I called in is still covering me, So number 3 is stop depending on one income. So now I need to grow my other income. I would be working on my YouTube channels, which I feel like I have been working a little bit more on that. I have to work on my Etsy shops. I have to work on digital products, which is on my Ko-Fi. I also have to work on my letters and latte and letters, which is my snail mail club. And I need to work on the other side income that I have coming in. Now, for Uber, I can say that I would like to figure that one out a little bit more. That one's the most peaceful one, and I can get it today. Now, with the medical courier, I can sign up for it, but it's not guaranteed that I'll even get anything that day. It's in high demand, but there's so many people doing it that I don't think that I will be able to get that completed. I would like to work more on becoming more frequent with the notary public. So notary public, I did get my stamp fixed and it is going to be coming in. So whenever I would have random phone calls or I work with like a lawyer or a doctor's office just so that I can get notary stamps in my lunch break or after work or whatever the situation was, that little money does help. And with it being on a contract with certain people, that actually helped as well. Virtual assistant as well, I can do that from home. I didn't really look into getting somebody else whenever I had lost the other two. I kind of just like dropped off and didn't really go back to it, but it really did help having that $700 coming in each month, knowing that all I got to do was work like one time a week for them. So I do need to go back to that. Number 4, I feel like I actually did this without even knowing that I was doing this, and that actually made me so happy. To whenever I was like, I did go to ChatGPT to ask these questions, like what are the 10 habits that I need what are the 10 habits that I need to actually work on in order to get my finances together? And it said that I needed to stop using debt as a safety net. That was my credit card. So if y'all are new, I actually had a credit card that had $42,000 on it, and I was paying off the debt. It wasn't a fixed variable. It wasn't a fixed APR. It was variable, so it kept going up, and I had it at almost like 29.65. I think it was the variable of interest that was being charged each month on there, and I was like swiping it left and right, and it finally hit to where I maxed it out. I was hurt. Okay, I was so hurt that I actually got maxed out. So whenever I started looking into it, I saw how much money I was paying in interest, and I started hitting it. I started knocking it out. Like I was like, there's no way that I'm ever going to be at again. So I got it down to like 20 something thousand, and then I saw that I was able to pay off other things and get it off my credit, and it wasn't as much, and I can, so I called the credit card company, asked them a couple of questions. I got the variable fixed for 6 months, and then in that 6 months I paid off some of the debt, and I knew I was able to pay off that debt because this interest rate for the other debt was higher, and at the time I needed the debt to be fixed. So I used the credit card to pay that off, and it got back up to like 33,000. I was like devastated. I knew that I had to hurry up and pay this stuff off, so I started attacking it. Every time I got paid, half of my money was going to the credit card, half of it was going towards bills and stuff. And so it actually put me back in my bills, which made me go Uber. So now I'm paying $500, $675 every month going towards my credit card. The minimum was like $418 that needed to be paid or something like that. And so I was paying $675, making principal payments on the account every month, just knocking it out. Some months I was able to hit $1,500 because I had a bonus coming in. Like I was knocking out this credit card. I was so serious. I did not care. I did not want it to be that high anymore. And so whenever I was able to knock all that down, I was calling them. I kept calling. I was like, hey, I really need you to lower down the available credit. I got it down to 35. I got it down to 25. I got it down to 10. I got it down to 4. I got it down to 2. I need you to lower my credit. Every time I called, they were like, are you sure? Yes. Can you also fix the variable interest? And they're like, yeah, we could do it for 6 months. We could do it for a year. So because they were fixing it, it was lowered, and so they would see what they could do with it at that time. And there was one time I was trying to lower it down to 2,000. She was like, no, can you keep it at 5,000? If you keep it at 5,000, I can make the variable at 6.9. I was like, yes, for 6 months, yes, I will. Yes. Okay. So with her doing that, she was like, let me see if I could do it for a year for you. And if she could do it for 6.9 for a year, going from 29.65 to 6.5, I was like, run it. Yeah. So whenever she did it, I was able to knock it down, and it helped a lot with trying to get all these things in order and trying to basically, I was able to knock out the debt. And whenever I saw that the debt was down, I finally got it down to 0, and I called and I was like, I want to cancel this credit card. They're like, oh, can get you. I was like, no, because it started off as fixed, and then something happened along the lines, and then it's no longer fixed interest rate. It was high. It really didn't have any rewards points. I had this credit card for like years, and it wasn't giving me any benefit of actually having it. So I was just like, you know what? It's not worth it. I don't want it. It was just like so many things that was telling me that I just needed to just go ahead and get rid of it. So I do not have a credit card debt. And so number 4, saying stop using debt as a safety net, I was using that credit card as a safety net. And I could just say that even though it is gone, I feel like if bills weren't made, or if the car had got messed up, or whatever the situation was, I was able to use that credit card. And now not having that credit card, I do realize that some things happen, and I'm like, It's like I'm struggling, you know what I'm saying? But not having to pay that extra, I figured out a way to fix whatever it is that I'm struggling with or whatever. But I don't have to pay that extra of having that debit card or that credit card. And I actually really enjoy not having a credit card. However, whenever I become debt free, I am thinking about getting a credit card to build credit and raise my credit score. And I actually plan on like working on business credit and stuff like that. So I do plan on getting a credit card again. But if I get a credit card, it is going to have a lot of benefits versus it just having it really didn't have anything to benefit me besides it just reported every 30 days. Like it was Capital One, so you saying that you had Capital One, you had some benefits, but it was such an old card that the perks that everybody's getting right now, I did not get them because I was grandfathered in, which I also think is a reason why it was so easy for me to raise that available credit limit because there was literally nothing else that they can offer, you know. So I think that's the reason why I was able to raise that. But let's get to number 5 is learn to say no. So I say no to a lot of things. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a foodie. If I'm hungry and I've got the money to go get something to eat, I'm gonna go do that. I also despise cooking. I can't express that enough. I don't like to cook. I actually hate it, if I'm being honest. I can honestly say that whenever it comes to choosing to cook or go out to eat, I'm gonna go out to eat and take the whole family with me. Because if I eat, my kids gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like to eat. However, I have actually been talking to someone who loves to eat. So I will grocery shop more now. He likes to actually cook. So because he likes to cook, there's a lot of times where I will cook something and it will be like a full meal for like spaghetti. Make a thing of spaghetti for today and tomorrow type thing, right? But we're making enough food to for one day to last to the next day. So it's not an everyday cook, but it is a lot that needs to be made at that one time. If y'all can hear the printer, it's still going. Like I'm telling you, I have 4 of them that need to be made and I'm making 5 to keep it in stock. I try to keep 5 in stock, but those 4 like over the weekend just got out of nowhere and I was like, whoa, wait. All right, so that means that I'm not going to be buying anything on Amazon. I'm not going to be buying anything like whenever I go out. I'm not a shopper anyway. Let's go ahead and just start over because I am not a huge shopper. I am not that person that needs to keep up with the Joneses. And yes, my last name is Jones, okay? But I'm not the person that has to keep up with the Joneses. I really don't. I don't care. Like, I don't know. I don't even know name brand stuff. I was saying Michael Kort. It's Michael Kors. I don't even know name brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that person that does not know left and right when it comes to like name brand stuff. And I tried really hard to actually be that person that would do like name brand things. But for whatever reason, I wasn't able to, learn the trade of going out to care about, making sure I have some new shirts whenever I go out to the club. I also don't have a nightlife. I'm an introvert. I really don't like to like go places. I really enjoy comfy clothes. And if I showed you my outfit right now, you'd be like, girl, you're like in a baggy MC Hammer. I'm gonna show you now. Extremely chill. I am not one of those people that likes to have name brand things or look cute or whatever. I like to be put together. I like to have like a white t-shirt and some jeans and some heels whenever I go out. But I like to have my lashes on. I really don't care for like makeup and stuff like that. And it's like my face is very sensitive, as y'all can tell. But it's like I don't do stuff like that. And I'm not one of those people that like to go shopping all the time. And so my money goes to groceries and it goes to food. So I also like to have day dates. I love to go on dates with my kids. We could go to the arcade. We can go to the mall and just enjoy ourselves. There's a food court, And so that's where my money goes. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to stop. I'm going to start saying no to doing certain things on Fridays. Maybe we can do things on Tuesday because Tuesdays there's more deals. If we go to like out to eat, there's more Taco Tuesday. There's, wings Tuesdays. There's whatever we could just do on a certain day, one time a week instead of going randomly. We have it planned. I'm saying Tuesday because I am also not one of those people that like to go hang out with like a big group of people. I cannot do a big group of people. I cannot do multiple kids. People don't raise their kids the way I raise my kids. And I can't do it, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and start saying no to random things. No more random purchases. Right now, it's nothing but school shopping, which I need to get into. School starts on the 10th, and my birthday is on the 4th, and then my friend's birthday is on the 11th. So there's like a little bit of expenses that are going to happen in August. But right now, there's not that many. So I do plan on doing something of the scent of still shopping, but not like unwanted shopping. I will be moving. and I have a lot of furniture. So this is like my place that I'm moving to. So I don't have any like furniture. I don't have like towels. That I literally have my bedroom and my office. Everything else I got rid of. I don't have anything. And it's my kids' room, my room, that's it. So I don't have a living room set. I don't have a dining set. I don't have kitchen stuff, like stuff in the kitchen. I don't have anything. I had to literally start over. So right now, trying to do this 75 hard that I'm doing on my budget channel, that right there is going to be me getting my life together and my finances and stuff together. So whenever I start purchasing, it will be later. So the habits that I'm changing right now, it is going to change, but there are points in this change that is going to have purpose. I'm not going to just be buying clothes because I want to. Though I did lose weight. I lost over 115 pounds. I did lose weight, but I can say that I do not have any intention on buying any clothes. I don't have any vacation planned right now. I don't have anything that's requiring a large lump sum besides my car maintenance, the moving, and refurnishing the house, and back to school right now. That's it. So everything else is a no. I love dates, but right now we don't need that. Number 6, I am going to invest in skills that pay me back. So right now I'm going to be going to school for medical billing and coding. That is actually going to be paying me back in the long run. That is 10 months of school, and that is something that I can actually work from home. It is a work from home position. I can work for myself or work for different companies, and that's what I like to do. I'm supposed to be starting this month in July, and I think they moved it to the end of July, or they moved it to August. I can't remember the date, but the class didn't fill, and so they had to backdate it in just 2 weeks. So that's the reason why there's a delay, but I will be doing that, and that is the main thing that I'm looking forward to right now. I will be looking into more certifications, looking into different courses, and learning more things on AI. When I learn more things in AI, like in Canva or ChatGPT or even Claude, those things actually help me with the channel the video that I did today. I used ChatGPT. The other ideas that I do, like for stickers and stuff like that, or icons or like ideas or stuff like that, I use the AI to actually make it with like Canva and things of that nature. So that actually helps me out. So I would like to learn more of the free platforms that I have to invest in myself so that in the future it pays me. Number 7, I am doing the 75 hard 75 hard personal financial edition. I actually got the idea from Just Call Me Nikki, so please go check her out. She'll be linked in the description down below. But number 7 is track every dollar, because I'm doing that for the 75 days, even though this is for the rest of my life, or for the 2 years until I leave 9 to 5. I will be tracking my expenses. If you want to see the expenses and see if I'm actually sticking to it will be on my budgeting channel. Again, that will be linked in the description down below. But right now I'm doing 75 hard. And I can say that it's a lot, something that I already originally do, but some of the stuff I actually have like expenses and stuff that I need to make sure that I'm not like going overboard and not doing too much. So I do track that, and that is actually number 7, which is what I'm going to continue to stick to. Number 8 is living below my means. So right now I feel like I am doing that. I feel like I'm sticking to the bare minimum. I'm not spending any money unless I actually specifically have to. I am trying to learn a different way of meal planning, which is a video that I'm going to actually share with y'all on my budgeting channel. I am going to show y'all the grocery shopping part at HEB, which is in Texas only. And it's one of the things that is going to help me plan the meal, go grocery shopping per the meal, and make sure that it's like breakfast is covered for 2 weeks, and then the lunch, if like somebody wants like snacks in between, that's it. There's no extra. I'm not going to go out there and get like 15 packs of pork chops and then 2 bags of chicken and not even cook them and then just like go bad or whatever the situation is that people are doing. I'm not doing. It's like a strategic meal plan that I'm going to stick to help me with my grocery shopping. Number 9, I'm going to build systems, which is another video that I plan on actually creating. I plan on building a system for each thing. So with these systems, I have intentions of getting everything financially together, my fitness, my health, my finances, the physical, everything. I'm literally going to get all the systems in order. I'm going to show you the difference that I have in between one system and the other, but these systems are going to be in place. Instead of me trying to motivate myself, these systems are going to be just going to be a flow. Number 9 is build systems instead of depending on motivation. Instead of the motivation where you're like, I'm just trying to motivate myself. No, I'm automatically doing this already. Let me get this out. This is what I do from 9 to 10 in the morning, and this is what I'm going to do until 3 o'clock or whatever the situation is. That's what that's going to be. And so things that I'm going to be working on is like automatic like my automatic bill pay. I will have that set up, as well as my savings is going to be on a different card. I already have a card where account where I don't have a card. I have to go to a physical teller in order to get the money out, and if the bank's closed, I just don't need it, right? I'm going to stick to my weekly budget check-ins. I'm going to do Sunday planning every Sunday. I'm going to do a reset. I have to do a reset to stick to it, because if not, I literally, I'm not accountable. If I don't have these things in order, I am not accountable. It just doesn't happen. Like, it just doesn't happen. It is so hard to get back to getting like on, like once you fall off, it's so hard to get back on. It is so weird to think that you can do this, because clearly you've been doing it for a long time, and now you're over here struggling. Like, you're like, girl, I can do it. Like, why is it taking so hard for me to get back on it? Like, it's crazy. I'm gonna have a monthly financial review, like the monthly setup, and which is like the forecast, and then I'm gonna have the review, the final review. Did I stick to it at the end? And that's why I'm also on the budgeting channel. So if you want to check that out, please do. And I need to schedule more content. So I need to, not only do I need to write it down, but I actually need to, each video needs to have like its own notes. And then whenever I get to it, it'll be an easier video for me to record. For instance, this one is it's at 34 minutes. I know that whenever I edit it, it's going to be down, but usually whenever I'm like trying to like get so many things down, I was like, you know what, that's why the printer was printing the whole video, because I knew that I needed to make 9 books of 100 challenges, you know? So that's why you hear the printer the whole way. During my breaks, I clean the house, clean the bathroom, clean the kitchen, throw things in the crock pot, throw things in the oven, so that whenever I get off work or during lunch or whatever, I have the food ready and I don't have to like think so much. Granted, I do have other people in the house and they do help me whenever I do ask, but mentally sometimes you're just like, let me get it out the way, instead of waiting till this person wakes up, or asking them to wait until they get out of the restroom, or whatever. You just kind of like, I'll do this at 10 o'clock, and if somebody's there to help me, you just let them know and then move on, right? So that's what I'm going to do for like the systems. You will be informed of the systems that I have set up. And it's actually going to be a whole different video. I'm actually kind of nervous about it, because I've been doing this for a long time, but actually verbalizing this is a whole different step for me. So the last one was one that I asked ChatGPT, because they kind of gave me like this thought. So it says, think like the CEO of my life. And it says, employees think, I hope I can get a raise. But a future business owner says, how do I create more income? That rings bells for me. It just rings bells. How can I make this more? How can I increase this? And then it says, instead of asking, what can my job do for me? Start asking, what can I build that eventually replaces my job? If I had a mic, I would just drop that shit. Like, I mean, think about it. Like, I'm over here trying to get these finances in order or whatever, so that I can leave my 9-to-5 job within a 2-year period. And if I just ask myself differently, treat myself as if I am already working for myself, which I am, but making more income and not relying on the 9-to-5. If I get my mindset changed now, I feel like everything will just flow and fall in place by the time it's for me to leave that 9-to-5 job. Hopefully the channel name will change from starting over at 40 as a single mom, and I won't be a single mom anymore. But right now, because I am, that's where my mind frame is at. Nothing is ever guaranteed. You never know what's going to happen. And though it's so fresh, so new, I still feel like I need to work on me. I need to figure out me. And then if I can actually be a benefit to someone else, or someone else be a benefit to me, by all means, I'm not going to be against it. Now, I am going to say that I am making these things, I'm putting these things in place. If they follow along with me, by all means, but if they're pulling me back, it's just not going to happen. I'm not letting anybody hold me back any more than what everybody has already held me back. Now, I am going to say, which is like a little note that I put in here that I was actually thinking about earlier. I am not leaving corporate America because I hate working. Now, a lot of people are like, oh God, I hate working, and I just can't stand working a 9-to-5 job anymore. My hobbies, my habits, my inspiration is actually working. It's creating, it's doing something. So I'm still going to be working. I'm not saying that I hate it. I just hate the fact that you're telling me that my value is $26 an hour, and then whenever you're giving me a raise, you're giving me 20 cents. So I'm leaving because I want more control over my time, my finances, and my future. These habits aren't just helping me save money, they're helping me build a life where leaving my 9-to-5 job becomes a choice instead of a dream. If you're planning your own exit, start changing your habits today. Your future self will thank you. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Check the description down below for all the links that I have mentioned. And then if you have any other habits or anything that you think that you should actually change or that I should actually look into changing, comment down below. Say hello. Let me know if you're new here. Y'all stay blessed, stay beautiful, and stay safe. Bye, guys.